Hey guys, what's going on? It's Colin here again. Back with another fan video, another initial checkout style video. I have something a little bit different here for you today. This is a Samson leather or rubber bladed fan. These are a product of the 40s or 50s, I believe. And I actually have a similar fan to this on my channel already, but mine's a tiny one. It's probably a 6-inch. This is a 12-inch, and it's quite a odd piece. It looks absolutely ginormous because the only other one I've seen in real life is my tiny little 6-inch, which is, you know, the blades are literally like, you know, half the size of these. But yeah, this is a pretty neat little fan here. It's another one that my buddy Bruce rescued from the scrapyard. Unfortunately, out of all of them, this one took the hardest fall, it seems, because this motor housing is not metal, and well, it's plastic, and it took quite a beating. There's a large crack going all the way back here, another crack here, a crack up top. This trim here, or this metal piece, is not fitting in the base quite right. So overall, it's in kind of tough shape. The cord on this is also the most petrified out of all the fans I've looked at so far. But this is also part of the lot with multiple fans that came in at once. Go ahead and unwind this here. This is a rubber cord that is very much like petrified and not flexible. It's got a replacement plug on it, as per usual with all of these. But as you can see, this is just crumbling in my hands. There's your bare conductors there. This just wants to disintegrate. Actually, by the motor here, we do have bare copper, and we also have a little bit more going into the base here too. So that's kind of fun. But whoa, careful there. As you can see here, this is a Samson. It's a 2-speed. We got high and low, and they call it a safety flex. So I guess the idea, go ahead and tighten that. The idea was that you didn't really need a grill because these were rubber blades and they wouldn't hurt you that bad even if you stuck your finger in from the back. I mean, it would probably hurt, but it wouldn't do any serious damage. As you can see, it's a 2-speed oscillating model. I guess you rotate that in kind of like the GE to engage the oscillator. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave that out for now. But certainly a unique piece. Unfortunately, it's in kind of tough shape. Because it is such a neat piece, it would be cool to actually get this going again. But I don't know, we'll have to see. I'm definitely going to test it, see if it works, but I think you would have to do some serious work here to get this to sit in right. You'd probably have to make or find another one of these covers unless you could glue this back together. I'm sure, well, I guess the bearings seem pretty free. I'm sure the gearbox needs work. It's going to need to be rewired, repainted. And probably needs new blades too, because this rubber is kind of falling apart. And as you can see, this one's quite kinked over. So even if it does run, it's probably going to vibrate like crazy. So this will be a very brief test run here. But I figured it was too neat to not show and not test run. This is all metal here. This base is more of the same hard plastic, and it's probably got some metal in it as well. Got all 3 original rubber feet, totally rock solid, but there's your information there. Hopefully you can read that. Just in case you can't, it says Samson United Corp, Rochester, New York, so that's kind of cool. It's made in New York, obviously made in the USA. Model number 1244N, 115 volts, 60 cycles, 0.75 amps. And the patent number is 2095223. So you might be able to get a data manufacturer from that. Not entirely sure. Looks like a pretty large shaded pole motor there. But yeah, it's definitely a unique piece. So this is going to be a don't try at home / do as I say not as I do video. If you got a fan like this, don't plug it in. Because this could very easily go bad, but I'm going to be brave and or stupid depending on how you look at it. Go ahead and very carefully plug that in. I have my one hand there. Let's go ahead and see if it works. It would appear that it does. As predicted, it is very much out of balance. Go ahead and put it on low, see if low works. It does. See if centrifugal force will stabilize it a little bit. I don't know if it's going to fling the blade out, keep it from wobbling so bad, or if it's just going to keep doing the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and put it this way and hang on to it here a little bit. As you can see, due to that blade being the way it is, it's quite out of balance. But it's moving a decent amount of air. Go ahead and move this a little closer into the frame so you can see that it's blowing the paper towels. It's actually unspooling them slightly. If it didn't rattle so bad, it'd be pretty quiet too. That's low. Go ahead and go up to high here. That's actually throwing out a really good breeze. There's quite a difference between low and high too. All that rattling and noise is the rear motor cover vibrating. But it actually seems to be alright on its own here. Doesn't exactly sound the healthiest, but there you go. Moving quite a bit of air. Go ahead and see if the oscillator works real quick. Alright, it's trying to work, so we'll leave it at that. I don't want the wires to short out, because the ones going into the motor are not exactly the best. So we'll leave it at that. Go ahead and flip this around here. I think that, actually, we're only drawing 0.82 amps. So that's not bad. I think we'll call that a test run. Bearings seem pretty good. This one was probably put away due to the bad wiring and the blade being all screwed up, more than the bearings being locked up. Yeah, those are perfectly fine. So this one seems to have the same issue that my other one does, and that's that the blades went, and they're not quite in balance, so it just vibrates itself to pieces. So it will definitely need new blades. I think my other one needs them trimmed up also. And because it's so out of balance, it vibrates like crazy, and then everything else vibrates and makes it sound like make a hideous racket. But it does seem to run pretty decent. And these blades have got a decent amount of mass behind them, so that's probably why the spin down is so good. But either way, it's a super neat piece. Definitely not something you see every day. Whether I'm going to put all the work into it necessary, or all the work into it that is necessary to make it a good runner or not, I don't know. This might end up getting passed along to somebody else. I'm not entirely sure yet. It's a super neat fan, but it's also pretty rough. So more than likely what will happen is I'll take it apart for a good clean and service and rewire, and maybe I'll look into what's involved with new blades, and we'll kind of go from there. Well, anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you could hit the little like and subscribe buttons. As always, feel free to leave a comment if you have one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.